Morning peeps, it's Monday the 10th. Yet again, another video on the morning after the night before where you get knocked out of another cup or lose in a deplorable way. What is happening to this club, mate? Honestly, it's so depressing, so demoralising. The players now are not playing for him. And if they are playing for him, they don't know what he's trying to get across. The tactical changes he's making now just do not make sense. Why did he take Mikey Moore off yesterday when Sonny's playing, he's doing nothing? Mikey Moore was our best player. I don't understand the Ange in people, because even when we are playing at our best, which has been so few and far between over the 20 months that he's been in charge, so few and far between. If you look at it, we had 10 games at the beginning and we've had the odd game where we played really well. I don't understand where these Ange in people are getting their confidence from. I don't want to say he's clueless, because I don't want to be disrespectful, because he's obviously done well in different leagues, but he is just not good enough in this league. He cannot cut it. I'm sick of saying about the injuries. He's still enough decent players out there, if he's a good enough coach, to be getting a better performance than he's getting. We are getting smashed by every team we play. Literally smashed. We should be beaten 4-5, 6-0. It's only that they're bad finishing. Or Kinski, like yesterday, made an absolute blooper to start with in the first minute or whatever it was, but then made about 3 or 4 worldies to keep us in it. Otherwise, we've been 4 or 5-0 down, 6-0 down. Sonny, bless him, absolute legend at the club. He knows we will love him. But he's running on empty. He's just not the player he was. Look at him this season. He's hardly doing anything. And when he is, for example, and again, playing him out of position. Tell comes in. You got the German commentator from Sky Sports Germany tells everyone that he watches him all the time, so he knows better than we do that Tell is a forward player. He likes to play in the number 9 role, right up the middle. So what does Ange do? And sorry, come back from that. We know that Sonny doesn't like to play that number 9 role. So what does Ange do? In his infinite wisdom, plays Tell out left in Sonny's position and plays Sonny in the middle in the number 9 role, where he hates to play. It is absolutely mind-boggling. And don't get me started on our midfield. What is going on with the midfield? How many games do we have to play where the midfield is just non-existent, for him just to get them together, play a video of them playing and say, what are you fucking doing? What are you doing? The players, they're just literally running straight through all the midfield players, straight on the defence. And it's not even hard work. And then you've got the front press. When they're trying to press, you can see a couple of them run up to the players. None of them are following up to help them. And don't tell me they're too tired. And he's telling us they're too tired. There's enough players in our youth team, or the under-21s, bring them in and play them then. If these top players are so tired, bring the other players in. Show Levy that you need other players. Stop running these other players into the ground when they can't do it. The front press is non-existent. The midfield is non-existent. Literally, the teams are just running through them. And when we do get the ball, they're playing passes and just pass it back to them. But 10-yard passes, when you've got 3 or 4 or 3 players, Tottenham players to go to, and they're just passing it straight to an Aston Villa player. And last week to a Liverpool player. Basuma, get out of my club. Or our club, should we say. He's useless. Bentancur is playing bad at the moment, but I think there's a better player in him. And a better manager will get more out of him, definitely. Bergvall, great talent. He needs to watch his temper, watch his petulance, because he's going to get a few yellow cards and red cards in his time if he doesn't be careful. But I think a lot of that's coming from a frustration with him playing well and the players around him. He's making runs and no one's just picking him out. Look at fucking poor Archie Gray. He hasn't even played in his own position yet this season. Even when Ange has had defenders back that he can put in them positions, he's still playing Archie Gray there. It's ridiculous. I was looking at a stat that's going across some of the social media. Just to give you an idea of where we are. And this is what people are saying, Ange's right, or Levy's not, it's not Levy's fault. This is an example of Levy, of how he's not backed managers since 2019. Right, so 2019, Tottenham in the Champions League final. Already on a decline under Poch, I give you that, because, again, Levy hadn't backed him in the transfer windows and hadn't given the players he wanted. We all know the names. When Pochettino said, I want this certain player, and he has gone out and got fucking like the third one down from him. And Pochettino's like, what do you want to do? I'm telling you the players I want to bring this club forward, to challenge more. And Levy's going out and buying the fucking bottom-ranked players, like I said, the third one behind the guy that he wants, because it saves him money. How many times have we found out or heard that Levy had these superstars, like Grealish, if you like, when he's held back on a couple of million on paying him, and someone else could snatch him up 3 years later, he's playing in one of the top clubs, going for 100 million. But Daniel Levy didn't want to pay that fucking extra couple of million, or that extra certain, I don't know, 30 grand in wages, because he's tight. He thinks it's all his money. Move to this stadium. I'm going to spend lots more money on the players. We're going to be challenging at the top. No, we're not. No, we're not. Basically, he's putting more money in his bank account. You know that by the ratio. I think I said in the last video. Oh, by the way, I need to apologise when I opened the window on the last video. Apparently, I'm raving. Well, I'm ranting, but it looks like I'm raving. And the sound goes for a little while, so I apologise for that. A friend of mine pointed that out, Tony. But I think the sound does come back after that, so if you listen to it for that. But yeah, I was raving about all that sort of stuff. But anyway, that fact I want to give you. So in 2019, Tottenham get to a Champions League final. Aston Villa are playing Derby in the Championship. Jump forward to now. Tottenham are now 14th, whatever it is we are in the league, struggling to get anything. And Aston Villa are, I mean, to be fair, it should have been 5-1, 6-1 yesterday. They're in the Champions League now. That is the difference between us and them. They've gone bang. And apparently the new stadium is going to make all the difference. Please wake up. And there's still people, I'm looking on social media, and there's still people saying Ange in. What is going on? Yes, you can blame Levy for most of it. 90% of it, I'll blame Levy for it. For the whole thing since Pochettino's time, or even sacking Martin Yeo at half time, that sort of crappy decision. There's all 90% of it is on Daniel Levy and the board. But Ange Postecoglou should be getting more out of this squad of players. They're a talented bunch. I know they're tired. And like I said before, if they are talented, change them. Put some of the kids in. If we lose then Daniel Levy can see it. But you don't just keep running the players into the ground and then making that as an excuse. Because they're all getting injured. Ange Postecoglou cannot coach this team. You can see it. The players are out there running around like they don't know what they're doing. Surely you can see that now. And we're saying, oh, if he gets sacked, Ryan Mason comes in with Wells. But why is that our option? Why is that the option? This is Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. The 9th richest club in the country. They should have managers breaking down the door to get into that job because they think they can make a difference. But why are they not? Daniel Levy. Because they know whatever manager comes into that club, they'll go, there you go, come in here. He's going to do this, he's going to do that. The manager's going to say to him as they come in, I'm going to need this. Can I have these reassurances? Yeah, of course you can, of course you can. Come to the transfer windows. Oh, but you can have it. We're going to try for him. You got him though. You've got him though. The manager could go, well, that's not the players I wanted. That's not what we discussed when I took this poxy job. And Daniel Levy stands with his ratty little face, like nothing affects him, and just goes, never mind. 18 months, 2 years down the line, manager does the same thing. Can't do it because he isn't given the players, isn't given the tools to work with under his own methods and ideology how they want to play football. But I don't believe that they can't get a manager in. And if they can't get a manager in, all you Levy in people, what are you doing? Because the only reason these managers won't want to come in is because they've got to work with that geezer at the top. Oh God, it's fucking so frustrating. I'll tell you what, any of you that are moaning about this, don't bother turning up to the protest. Like I've said before, I ain't got a ticket to the game, but I'm going to be there. I am going to be there. And I'm doing lives. I'm going to do some interviews to get them on this channel because I want to get people's opinions on this. Because you can't keep moaning about it if you're not willing to go out there and do that march. We need to get as many people there as possible. And yes, the first march might make much of a difference. But if you're making enough of a noise, those local businesses are going to start getting annoyed. They're going to start making complaints. You're going to have all our sponsors that will see it, because it will definitely be on social media. It will definitely have to go on the media. If there's enough of us, the sponsors will start putting pressure on Daniel Levy. It's the only way to do it. We might have to do it 3, 4, 5, 10 times. But we've got to do it. If you say you love this club as much as you do, you'll make this poxy effort. Don't sit on your asses, on your sofas, moan about what's going on if you're not willing to get off your asses and go and make a difference. I don't care how busy you are. I'm a busy man. 3 teenagers, run my own business, got loads of things to do. But I will be there for the couple of hours or whatever it takes. Because this club means something to me. And it hurts deeply what is happening at the moment. The most scariest thing is, and I'm still hearing people on social media, on podcast things, saying, "Oh, if we're in a relegation battle, or if we're in a relegation battle next year, then there's bad." What planet are you on? What have you seen in the last 2 months that tells you we can beat any team in the Premier League? Yes, there was a Brentford game, but we were backs against the wall. I don't know if you watched that game. There's like 30 crosses that came in. It's only they couldn't finish that there wasn't a different score. Ange cannot coach this team. He's not capable of coaching a team on a regular basis to the high level that the Premier League requires. Can't do it. The only time that he's had, or a period of games that he's had where the team were playing impressive, was the first 10 games of last season. And that was until the rest of the Premier League managers worked him out. It's absolutely mind-boggling. What was the other thing I wanted to say? What was it we'd lost? This was a point I wanted to make. Because everyone keeps saying, "Oh, when did we had this mindset that everyone's saying now at Tottenham have got, that of defeatist mindset." And everybody's saying it now. Tottenham got to change the mindset. It's from the top. And I've started to think about it. And I remember back in the 80s when we did win a few we were winning trophies, like the old FA Cup. We won the obviously European Cup. Not European Cup, but obviously I think it was Cup Winners' Cup then, wasn't it? Or the Milk Cup. But we were still winning trophies. I remember back then us being called a cup team. And I don't know if a lot of you remember that. And I'm wondering if that got into our psyche a little bit. That we never considered ourselves as possible or potential to win the league. I know we didn't. I know we was pretty rubbish around that sort of time. But we still had great squads back then. Look at the players we had. In the early 80s and early 90s. Absolute blinding players. Yes, in the mid-90s, we had a load of dross. But if you look at the top teams of other things, they did have great players. They had some very ordinary players around them that lifted their game and played to their highest potential so that they can get to those cup finals and win those leagues around the good players. We never had that. And it became a mentality thing, I think, when we called ourselves a cup team. I don't know if you agree with me. But do you remember Tottenham are a cup team? We win the FA Cup every now and then, like the cups. But it's like in the mindset we wasn't good enough or could potentially win the league. And I wonder if that's now sort of that's become a part of the mindset of the club. We was only going for cups. Now we don't win cups. It's a bit lazy because obviously in a league season where you got to win the title, you got to be on it every week. You know what it's like. Under Poch, when we were challenging, it was the first time in my Tottenham supporting life that you realise what it was like for those top boys, that they've got to win every week. And the minute you even draw a game, you're feeling bad because the other teams are going to make ground on you or even overtake you sometimes. I remember a time under Poch, I think it was like 9 games we won on the trot, and then we drew a game. It might even be 11 games, I think about it. And then we drew a game, and I felt terrible because the other team matched us. That's what it's like at the top when challenging for a title. But because we know it's all right to lose a few games, and then win a game, and lose a couple of games, and win 3, that's been the mentality of the Tottenham Football Club. And I think that's what they mean by, it doesn't matter if you win. Look at Harry Kane. Harry Kane has hit the nail on the head. Since he's been over in at Munich, and he said at Tottenham, the difference between Tottenham and Bayern Munich, Bayern Munich need to win every game. They're expected to win every game. And it ain't because they're the biggest club over there. We know they are. But still, it's the mindset. We have to win. We have to win. If they don't win, they feel bad. Whereas Spurs, we win a game, as I said before. If you lose, it ain't too much. It's a problem. Yeah, it's annoying, but it's all right. Don't matter. We're Tottenham. And that's the mindset that we've got to change. We have to. And it's never going to change with Daniel Levy in control of the footballing side of that club. And I'm sick of giving him a leeway saying, oh, look what he's done with the club stadium and all that sort of stuff. When you think about it, he built that stadium for him. He built that stadium, excuse me, I'm going on a proper rant today now, to do exactly what he's done now. It's to house all these concerts, all these other stuff. So he's got all stuff in between that he's going through, and the business side of things, corporate side of things. So you walk in there and all these corporate people are having lovely time there. I don't know if you've looked at these tickets on sale. I've seen them on social media. When you go into the club, the premium special tickets things, you go in, you have a meal, and you've got a nice soft seat, and you might see one of the pros come around. I've looked at it. The cheapest version is £500 and something a ticket, and the most expensive one, the premium one, is over £1,000 a ticket. You've got to pay over £1,000 to go and have a bit of grub, have some of the cardio, have some food, and watch that dross on the pitch. Because Daniel Levy cares zero about that team. They're a hindrance to him. God, I hate that geezer. Honestly, I hate him. And again, I heard one of the other guys on Last Word on Spurs this morning say, I watched it this morning, I think it was recorded yesterday. Well, it was. Saying like, you don't advocate for it, and obviously nor do I, but you look at places like Spain and France and Italy, and if their ball don't toe by the line or play how they want to, or keep the progression going, they take matters into their own hands over there. And I don't advocate for that, but how do you get the message through to Levy that we're not happy? I mean, over there they do things like they go smash people's houses up and their cars and things like that, like way over the top, in my opinion. Of course I don't want that to happen, but when people are not listening, you tell me. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Apparently there's some players coming back through injury. We've got a bit more time off now, so the players have got some rest. So after next week, if he's still losing games, he has got no excuse. Because the players are coming back, and they've got about a week's rest, I think now, something like that. I think they've got a week, or next couple of weeks. There's quite a lot of resting time for the players. So even fatigue now can't be thrown at them, and there's players coming back. So we'll see. I mean, in terms of him going, who knows? I'd like him to go. I'd like him to get another manager in. Of course, I know before everyone says it, that it's not the manager, it's Daniel Levy, it's the board. But sometimes it needs a change. I need a change of voice. Because at the moment, on that pitch, those players do not look like they're being coached. And what are the coaches doing at that club? What are they doing? Not one player is being improved. Give me one player. It's depressing at the moment, mate. Anyway, I'm trying to get my head up. Right, so let's look forward to the weeks ahead, if we can, after that shite. And I'm sorry, Tottenham fans, mate. Honestly, it's a really bad time at the moment, but try and keep your heads up. As the song goes, things can only get better. And they certainly can from here, because we are absolutely rock bottom at the moment. But anyway, I want to say goodbye and stay safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't, which isn't a lot. And I hope to see a lot of you at the protests at the Manchester United game. Please, if you need any information, go to Change for Spurs or Change for Tottenham, because they are the organiser of it, or go over to Brian Daigle's channel, or on Last Word on Spurs, or on Tottenham TV. We are Tottenham TV, because they're all going to be there, and they're all promoting it. Again, I'm going to be there as well. Looking forward to seeing how many people turn up, and please just make the effort to just go along there, even if for an hour or so, to just show the numbers so that people take notice of us. Okay, I'm going to go now. Come on, you Spurs.